Chetan, how you disconnect? Okay. Mr. Rahimullah, Mr. Nazamul Islam. Okay, no problem. I will topic मैं अभी बता रहा हूँ आपको. So wait for some time. Please mute the sound. Huh? Please mute the sound. So this is today I'm going to discuss more about troubleshooting in CCNA. So the topic of today is troubleshooting in CCNA. So basic troubleshooting, which I'm going to cover here. So this is the diagram, and every computer has a different IP address. This computer has 192.168.0.1. This computer has 192.168.0.2. And this computer has 192.168.0.3. So every, all these three IP belong to 192.168.0.0 network. So I have already told you that every switch has a table. Every switch has a table, because I have already covered this topic here. So don't worry. If you are new here, no problem. You just see it. And when I will start a new batch, you will attend that batch. Don't worry about that. So every switch has a table. Every switch has a table called MAC table. I'll show you how I will check the MAC table of switch. Show MAC address table. So currently, this switch does not have any information here. Like switch A, every computer has a table that is called ARP table. ARP minus A. So now this computer has the information of second computer here. That is 192.168.0.2. So now I am going to check the connectivity. See, all these three computers are physically connected with switch. It's okay.
Oh, where did you type the ARP command? In the PC or in the switch?
No, PC. This is your PC, brother.
Yeah. So you've typed ARP minus A. Okay. But ipconfig is also another command to give IP address, right? ipconfig.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So now this is the diagram here. So these three computers are connected, physically connected with your switch. Please mute the sound. But now I'm going to check the logical connectivity, whether this computer is logically connected with the second computer or not. But how I will check the logical connectivity, brother? So now I'm going to check the logical connectivity here. So what I will do here, I have to use ping command here. Ping ping. So I'm writing on this computer, but I want to check the logical connectivity with this IP address. That is, the destination is 192.168.0.2. So this is your destination. So the destination IP will be 192.168.0.2. So now I'm going to see the result. Please check the result here. Please check the result here. So the message which I am receiving here, that is reply from 192.168.0.2. What does it mean? It means that my logical connectivity between these two computers is okay. But what is this? Byte is equal to 32. See, when you want to check the logical connectivity, you are also sending a data here. So that the data which you are sending from first computer to second computer, the size of the data is 32 byte. But my question is, what this time represent? What do you understand by time?
Time
See,
each ping when it goes to the other hop and come.
so now we should understand that what is time here. Time is equal to 2 milliseconds. So brother, when you want to check the logical connectivity between these two computers, you are sending ICMP request there. So when you are sending the traffic to this computer, you are sending echo request. That is called echo request. So when this system will reply to this computer, that is called echo reply. So what I'm telling you, when you check the logical connectivity from computer A to computer B, so when you're sending the traffic to system B, that is called echo request. So when you're sending the traffic, so in echo request, the source IP will be 192.168.0.1. The destination IP will be 192.168.0.2. But when system B is going to reply to system A, that is called echo reply. So in echo reply, the IP will be reversed. That the source IP will become 192.168.0.2 and the destination IP will be 192.168.0.1. But try to understand.
Is echo request nothing but ping command? Is that what you're saying, sir?
Exactly. When you're sending the traffic to system B, so this process is called echo request.
Okay, so logically checking the connection between 2 or 3 different systems in a network,
yeah,
is called echo request. Okay.
When system A is going to send the traffic to system B, that is called echo request. But system B will also reply now. But when system B will reply, that is called echo reply. The traffic which you are sending, that is called echo request. But when system B is going to reply to system A, that is called echo reply. Now you understand? Understand, brother?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, brother,
yeah, what is ICMP here, sir? What is ICMP?
See, ICMP is nothing but a protocol.
Okay.
See, ping will comes in ICMP. What is ping? Ping is a command by which you can test. So the ping will comes in this protocol. See, what I'm telling you, see, HTTPS, SMTP, right? Try to understand. HTTPS, SMTP, all these protocols under which protocol?
These are all.
See,
go ahead, sir.
Try to understand. HTTP, HTTPS, SMTP, POP3, all these protocols comes under TCP, na? Like DNS, DHCP, TFTP comes under UDP, na? So ping will comes under ICMP.
Okay.
Now the concept is clear here.
Yeah, but again, HTTP, they're all protocols. Ping is the command.
See,
ping is the command, right?
See, this is also protocol, brother. This is also protocol.
Okay.
Sir, I have a question. Hello, sir.
जी बोलें.
सर अगर ये वाला सिस्टम एकदम फ्रेश सिस्टम है, मतलब तो PC 8 से अगर PC 2 पे अगर कुछ जाएगा तो पहले वाला तो रिक्वेस्ट फेल होना चाहिए था ना, वो ARP रिक्वेस्ट लेगा, उसके बाद वाला 3 रिप्लाई आना चाहिए था, तो क्या पहले से ही ARP रिक्वेस्ट कैसे जनरेट हुआ PC?
आपने कल हैव यू अटेंड द फर्स्ट क्लास?
नहीं, इसके पहले तो नहीं किया था.
इसीलिए ये आपका कॉन्सेप्ट पहले से क्लियर है ये पहले ये टॉपिक मैंने ऑलरेडी क्लियर कर दिया है. प्लीज वेट फॉर सम टाइम. प्लीज वेट फॉर सम टाइम.
ओके सर, ये वही सोच, पहले तो एक रिप्लाई फेल होगा, उसके
प्लीज
बाद 3
प्लीज वेट फॉर सम टाइम. So what is the time here? Try to understand, brother. Approximately a round trip time in millisecond. See, this is the total time when you are sending the traffic, when you are sending echo request and reply, the total time will be 2 millisecond. Hope you understand.
Yeah.
Understand now? But what is TTL? But one more question, I brother. If you want,
Delay.
yes, yes. Yes, any problem? Any question? See, if you want to check the connectivity with Google, if you are pinging Google, what will happen? If you are receiving 5 millisecond, try to understand. If you want to check the connectivity, if you want to check internet connectivity and you are pinging Google, but the time is 500 millisecond, what do you understand? Anybody?
Delay.
Yes, a delay. Yes, a delay. That is called delay.
Yeah.
Means network congestion.
Yeah.
Means the problem is what? There is a delay in your network. So what is the solution here? If the delay is in your network, try to understand. If the delay is in your network, so what you will do there? You have to increase the bandwidth. You have to increase your bandwidth of internet, or maybe possible that your user has opened YouTube. Maybe some user has opened Facebook. So this is the reason, that's why the delay will come here. So what you have to do there, brother, you have to make, if you don't want to increase the bandwidth of internet, what you will do there, you have to make the policy here on firewall, or you can block all those things which will consume more bandwidth. Hope you understand. Understand, brother? So this is, see, ping is also a component of troubleshooting. Okay, so by the help of ping, you can check the delay here. But brother, what is TTL? What is
Latency.
TTL? No,
Latency.
this is not latency. This is not latency.
It's time to leave. How long will the packet survive in the network?
Okay.
If it's too long, the packet will be dropped by the router. Or
How many hops?
How many hop? Okay. Okay, no problem.
Sir, avoid aloof.
Yes.
Detail means, sir, is used to avoid aloof and
Mr. Rahimullah, I didn't understand what you were asking me.
sir, I asked him TTL means time is used to avoid aloof and network.
Yeah, I will answer you. I will answer you. Now I'm going to understand what is TTL. So the full form of TTL is time to leave. Okay. So this is my diagram here. So this is my diagram here. And now I'm going to check the connectivity between these two computers, right? Or you can drop the packet. See, I will show you one more thing. See, we have a command here that is called traceset or traceroute. So we have also one command here, and this is also, we can also use this command for troubleshooting. So I will show you.
Sir, can you explain what is TTL and what does it do?
Yes, I will explain you. Please wait for some time.
Yeah, sure.
So currently, I'm going to check the connectivity between these two computers. Right? One is in Delhi. This computer is in Delhi, and this computer is in Mumbai. Right? So now I'm going to check the connectivity. I will explain you TTL, brother. But before going to explain the TTL, or you can say traceset and traceroute, I have a question to you. Suppose if I want to ping an IP address which is not exist on internet, so what will happen there? My question to
You
all.
will get timeout. You'll get timeout. Timeout, right?
See, what will happen here? When you are pinging a IP address which is not exist on internet, what will happen? It will create a loop there. Now, what will happen?
I understand.
What will happen here? If 40,000 to 50,000 people will ping an IP address which is not exist on internet, what will happen? It will create a large loop. So that's why what Cisco will do here, because when you're going to check the connectivity, so now I'm going to check the packet here. See, this is called IP packet. What is the TTL value here? The TTL is 255. What TTL will do here? TTL will prevent the infinite loop. Try to understand. I have already told you, when you will ping a IP which is not exist on internet, what will happen there? It will create a loop there. But how this TTL will prevent the loop? So when you are sending the traffic from this computer to that computer, what will happen? This TTL will be here. This is called time to leave. Currently, the time to leave is 255. But when you are sending the traffic toward the router, when you are sending the traffic toward the router, what router will do here? Now I'm going to check. What router will do here? Router will decrement the TTL value. Now you are saying the TTL is 254. Now again, when you are sending the traffic from first router to second router, again I will check here. The TTL is 253. Again, you are sending the traffic toward the router. The TTL will be 252. So what TTL will do here? How TTL will prevent the loop here? So when you are sending the traffic, from source to destination, the TTL will be 255. But when you are sending the traffic toward the internet, the TTL will decrement here. So when this TTL value will become 0, when this TTL value becomes 0, and the packet will, when the TTL value is 0, what will happen if you are not getting the answer there? The packet will be dropped. So what TTL is doing here? TTL is going to prevent the loop. If you are not getting the answer within 255 hop count, it will drop the packet. Hope you understand, brother. Yes, brother. You understand?
Yes, but I have question.
Yes. What is the question?
What is checksum?
I will explain you later class. Okay. Don't worry. I will explain you. Currently, I am explaining you TTL value. See, not checksum. There are a lot of value here. I will explain you later class. Okay. What's your name? What's your name, brother?
Aziz.
Yes. Aziz.
Yes.
Okay. I will explain you. No problem.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah. Who is this?
Chetan.
Chetan. Yes. Bole.
Yeah, sir. If for example, if routers more than 255 means what is the count for TTL?
TTL means every router, it will decrement the value.
Yeah,
So
of course.
if the TTL value will become 0 and your destination will be not reachable, what will happen? It will drop the packet. So by this way, it will prevent the loop here.
Yeah, okay, sir. But my question is, if the devices are more than 255, for example,
No. This is the last value.
Okay.
This is the last value.
So the thing is, so in a network,
255 is the maximum value.
I understand, sir. So until so let's say we are pinging from one PC to other PC in a network where there are about 255 routers in place.
Yes.
And until so in what cases my TTL will be 0? In what case?
See, if you're pinging in that IP which is not exist on network,
which is not on
network, what will happen?
Oh, okay.
That will become 0 now.
That will become 0. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say if I have a PC on my network, which is on a network, and I'm trying to ping my that PC, and how will the TTL value gets decremental?
That I will show you now, brother.
Okay.
That I've already shown you, no? See, now where is the packet here? Packet will be here, na? So what is the TTL? What is the TTL here? The TTL is 252, na? 252.
Correct.
So when you're sending from this router to this router, okay? So one hop will be here. So when you're trying to send the traffic here, so when this router receives the same packet, what will happen here? It will decrement the TTL value. Now it is 251.
So what you're saying is, in a network, let's say there are about 4 routers in between a PC to the other PC in a network.
Yeah.
And the highest will be 255 for the first router.
Yeah.
And so by the time it reaches the destination PC, the value will be decrementing by 1.
Always decremented.
Always decrementing by 1.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So that is your TTL value.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So now, so we have one more command here that is called tracer. So what tracer will do here, just try to understand. What is the IP of this computer? The IP of this computer is 192.168.1.2.
Sir, are you sharing the video? I don't think so, because I'm just able to see your photo.
Yeah,
I do not get.
I have already shared this video, brother. Are you not seeing?
But screen
No,
sharing.
we are unable to see the video.
We are seeing your photo. Only your photo.
My screen is not visible, brother.
No,
Yeah, that's what. Okay.
अरे ऐसा कैसे हो गया? अभी तो हमने visible किया था.
Until now it was visible. A second ago, when you say "Ajao," so that's when it disappeared.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Now you are saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay, no problem. So now this is visible now?
Yes, sir, we are visible.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
So now I'm going to check the connectivity between this computer. So what is the IP of this computer here? So the IP will be 192.168.1.2. So now I'm going to check the connectivity as well as we are tracing the route here. So which command I'm going to trace the route here? So what I'm going to do, brother, I'm going to trace the route. So which command I'm going to use? That is called tracert. T-R-A-C-E-R-T. Tracert. So the IP will be, the destination IP will be 192.168.1.2. So this is the result here. Now what you understand by using tracert command? So when you are sending the traffic, when you are sending the traffic from this computer, from Delhi computer to Mumbai computer, it will. So the IP which I have configured here, that is called 192.168.0.1. So on this interface, the IP will be 11.0.0.2. The IP will be 192. Sorry, not 192. 12.0.0.2. So the IP of this machine is 192.168.1.2. So what do you understand? This is 11.0.0.2. This is 12.0.0.2. And on this interface, I have configured 13.0.0.0.2. Okay. So when I'm using this command here, that is called tracert 192.168.1.2, it will show you that how your traffic will reach to the destination. So this is the output here. Now you understand, brother? But how we will do troubleshooting with this command? Now try to understand. See, tracert is a command by which you will trace the route. But I have a question here. How it is helpful in troubleshooting? This is my question. How it is helpful for troubleshooting? When you are sending the traffic, maybe someone has complained you that when I'm sending the traffic from Delhi to Mumbai, I'm not able to send the traffic between Delhi to Mumbai. So my question is whether how it is helpful, how tracert is helpful in troubleshooting. Just try to understand.
You trace the data, where does it go and where does it come?
Yes.
And how, when you trace the route for the any data.
Brother, I didn't understand. Huh? Please explain me.
I said you use it when you want to trace the data. Where does it go if you have many branches or something
Exactly,
like that?
exactly. Nice. So what I'm telling you, when you are sending the traffic from Delhi to Mumbai, so how I will check the route? By using tracert or traceroute. But my question is, how it is helpful for troubleshooting? Now, maybe someone has complained you that I'm not reachable from Delhi to Mumbai. So what you will do here? Again, you will run this command. But what you are seeing here, now you are stuck on this IP. Try to understand. you are stuck on this IP 12.0.0.2. So this is the IP address of this router. The 12.0.0.2 is the IP of this router. Now you understand the problem will be here. So what you will do here, you start the troubleshooting from here. Hope you understand.
Sir, how will we get to know if the problem is in that particular router itself, like in that particular IP itself?
Maybe, see, if you're checking the connectivity from here to here, because I have two offices here. My office is in Delhi, and one office is in Mumbai. Okay. So maybe if somebody has complained you that I'm not reachable to Mumbai, so what you will do here, you have to run this command right now. So suppose if you are stuck here, that is 12.0.0.2. If you are stuck here, what you will do here? Now you understand that the problem will be here, na? So if the traffic is not forwarding from here, what you understand here? You understand that the problem is here. So you will start the troubleshooting from here. आपको बात समझ आई?
Okay.
ठीक है. So tracert. So by using tracert, you trace the route, but see traceroute is also a same command, but this command you can run on router. You will get same output here, but traceroute will run on the router. I'll show you. Traceroute 192.168.1.2. The same output will be here. But you can run tracert in your computer, and traceroute will run on your router. Hope you understand, brother. So today I have covered ping, tracert, and traceroute. All these commands will helpful in troubleshooting, basic troubleshooting. मैं देखता हूँ कि मैं क्या पढ़ाता हूँ वहाँ पे आपको. See, now I am going to discuss about switch. See, there are two types of switch. One is called layer 2 switch, and the second is called layer 3 switch. Layer 3 switch. So we have two types of switch here, that is called layer 2 switch and layer 3 switch. So anyone will answer me about layer 2 switch? What is the series of layer 2 switch? Yes, brother. What is the layer 2 switch series?
MAC addresses.
Yes, brother.
MAC addresses.
No, I'm talking about series. I'm talking about series.
Model, you mean?
Yes.
Model.
I'm talking about series, brother. See.
1900.
So 2950, 2960, and 3500. So all these switch are called layer 2 switch. This is a layer 2 switch series. And what about layer 3 switch? Yes. Anybody?
3660.
3560.
And,
3750. 4500. Sorry. 6500. So this is the series of layer 3 switch. But my question is, what is the difference between layer 2 and layer 3 switch? I have a switch here that is 2960. So this is your layer 2 switch. And we have one more switch here, that is layer 3 switch. Okay. So now we have two type of switch, that is layer 2 and layer 3 switch. My question is, what is the difference between layer 2 and layer 3 switch? Yes, Mr. Zakaria. Mr. Zakaria. Mr. Zakaria Samuel. Mr. Samuel.
Sir.
Mr. Yes.
Sir, layer 2 switches works on MAC address. It reads only MAC address, and layer 3 works on IP address also.
Okay. Anybody, brother? Mr. Samuel.
Layer 3 switch is nothing but a router. Is that the right understanding? Will act as a router.
You are 100% right. Mr. Azus. Mr. Azus.
Yes.
What is your name, brother? If you Azus or Ejaz?
Abdulaziz.
Abdul Aziz.
Yes.
Okay, mashallah. Abdul Aziz. So can you tell me, Abdul Aziz, the difference between layer 2 and layer 3 switch?
I think layer 2 understands MAC and layer 3 understands IP.
So, okay, no, okay.
Layer 2 switch only operates at the layer 2 of the OSI model, and layer 3 operates at layer 2 and layer 3.
Okay, very good. Very good. See,
but layer 2, I think we can give them an IP address.
Yeah. So now
by given the VLAN, right?
Okay. So now I'm going to explain you clearly. Try to understand. So now I'm going to assign the IP address on this computer, right? So the IP which I'm going to assign here, that is 192.168.0.1. So this is the IP address here, which I've configured here. And on this computer, I will assign the second IP, 192.168.0.2. So as I told you earlier, so every switch, try to understand, every, I will connect one more PC here, then you can understand better. Okay. So Zakaria, sound को बंद कर दे आप. So in this PC, I'm going to assign 192.168.0.3. So, so now I have 3 computers here, and every 3 computer has a different IP address, but all IP address belong to 192.168.0.0 network. Okay. As you know that every switch has a table. Every switch has a table called MAC table. How can I check the MAC table of this switch? Show
MAC table.
Dash address.
Show MAC address table. So in this MAC table, you can find the connected computer MAC address here. But currently, the MAC table will be blank. The MAC table is blank here. And I have already told you in the last class that every computer has an ARP table. This computer has also a table. I will show you. ARP minus I, ARP minus A. So you didn't find anything here. So what will happen? Your switch has a table called MAC table, and your computer has a table called ARP table. But both the table is blank. But when this PC is trying to communicate with that PC, when this PC is trying to communicate with second computer, if this computer does not have the MAC address of the destination computer, what will happen? Try to understand. If the first computer trying to communicate with second computer, this computer should know the MAC address of the second computer, or you can say destination computer. But currently, your system does not have any information here. So if computer A, trying to communicate with computer B, but computer A does not have information of computer B MAC address, what computer A will do here? It will create a special type of packet. It will create a special type of packet. It will create a special type of packet. And this packet is called ARP request.
This is what I was talking about, sir, earlier.
Listen to me, brother. So what is this packet has? This is called ARP request. Now I'm going to check the ARP request here. See, the source IP is 192.168.0.1, and this is the source MAC address. Means this is the MAC address of computer 1, computer A. But what computer A is going to do? Computer A is going to search the MAC address of computer B. Computer A is going to search the MAC address of computer B. But my question is, and also computer A does not know on which interface computer B is connected. So that's why it will add the destination MAC address is FFF.
Broadcast.
This is called layer 2 broadcast address. This is called layer 2 broadcast address. So what will happen here? When your system A will send the ARP request towards the switch, what switch will do here, brother? what switch will do here? Switch will open the layer to header. Switch will search the source MAC address. Switch will search source MAC address, and that source MAC address will be added in switch MAC table. Now check the MAC table of this switch. Now your switch has stored a MAC address here, and your switch will store. Your switch will maintain, or you can say your switch will learn this MAC address through this interface. Your switch will learn this MAC address through this interface. But now, what switch is going to do? Switch will send broadcast address. Switch will send ARP request to all the interface. See carefully, all the interface. But who is going to reply? System B. System B is going to reply. So what system B will create here? System B will create a special type of packet that is called ARP reply. ARP reply. The source IP will be 192.168.0.2. The source MAC address will be system B MAC address. So this is the computer A IP address, and this is computer A MAC address. So now currently your switch has only one MAC address here, only one MAC address. But when computer B is trying to send the traffic toward the switch, again, what switch will do here? Switch will search the source MAC address, and that source MAC address will maintain in MAC table. Now your switch has two MAC address. Again, your switch will learn the second MAC address from system B, and from where it will maintain, from this interface. Now when system A receive the ARP reply from system B, now system A has maintained the ARP table here. Now system A know the IP and MAC address of system B. So I have a question here. When system A will send, try to understand, when system A will send ARP request toward the switch, how switch will send ARP request to all the interface? Yes, brother. Yes. My question is, try to understand. When system A will send ARP request toward the switch, what switch will do here? Switch will send ARP request to all the interface. My question is why? Who will give the answer?
Because broadcast, we are giving a layer to broadcast IP.
Who will give the answer, brother? Anybody?
So switch does not have all the PCs connected to it.
Who will give the answer? No one.
Hello, sir.
No problem.
Switch first time perform broadcast and the second time perform unicast.
Wait. Brother, try to understand. See, why switch will send ARP request to all the interface? Because try to understand. Because all interface, try to understand, because all switch interface will be in VLAN 1. Understand? All the switch port will be in VLAN 1. Understand? If all the interface will be in single VLAN, what will happen here? If if your system will receive ARP request, it will send that ARP request to all the interface, because all the interface will be in VLAN 1. Hope you understand. बातें समझ आई?
Yes.
Okay.
Once more, sir.
Yeah. You know I'm in fasting, brother. I'm in fasting. No problem. See, my question is, if your switch received the ARP request from computer A, what switch will do here? Switch will send ARP request to all the interface of switch. Why? Because all switch interface
are in VLAN 1.
That's why.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Okay, got this.
Okay.
So let's say we have 2 VLANs, sir. Okay.
But please. I have only single VLAN. Please wait for some time.
Okay, sir.
I will discuss this. No problem. I will discuss it. No problem. So now I understand that default switch has single VLAN. But my question is, brother, when system A is trying to send the traffic towards the switch, what switch will do here? Switch will send that ARP request to all interface, right? Why? Because all interface will be in VLAN 1. So if the traffic is forwarded to the all interface because you have only single VLAN, can I say that switch has one broadcast domain? Can I say switch has one broadcast domain?
Yes.
Okay. So now my next question is, after my next question is, after maintaining MAC table, and ARP table, if system A is trying to send the data to system B, will system A will send broadcast packet or unicast packet?
Broadcast.
Yes.
Unicast
packet means after maintaining MAC table and ARP table, when system A is trying to send the same data to system B, it will send unicast packet, right? So my next question is,
how does it use unicast when broadcast, when switches broadcast all the message to all the bots?
are you asking me a question?
Yes.
What question?
I said, how does it be unicast when switches forward all the message to all the ports?
Pardon, brother, I didn't understand.
He is asking unicast and broadcast, I think.
ये पूछना चाह रहे हैं unicast broadcast के बारे में.
हाँ, sir, I think.
See, that is what.
I said, why is it a unicast when the switch forward all the message to all the ports?
That I have already explained you, brother. If a switcher, suppose if a computer is trying to communicate with destination computer, and if your source computer does not have any information of a destination computer, then only it will send ARP. Then only it will send ARP request. So ARP request always be a broadcast. So after maintaining MAC table and ARP table, if second time system A is going to send the traffic to system B, second time it will send unicast packet.
Okay.
So my question is, if your computer A does not have the information MAC address of system B, how system A will send the traffic to system B?
Broadcast.
So use broadcast.
Yes, that is. I have already explained you, na. I have already explained you this.
But after sometimes if DCA doesn't connect to VCV,
Please speak loudly, huh? Yeah.
I said after some time, if DCA doesn't send anything, it will be removed from the MAC table, right?
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So now I'm going to learn that the difference between layer 2 and layer 3 switch. So I've already cared about the layer 2 switch. So now I'm going to teach you about a layer 3 switch. So now I'm going to check the VLAN of this switch. Okay. See, this is a layer 3 switch. So all the interface of layer 3 switch will be in VLAN 1. So this VLAN 1 is called default VLAN. So what I'm going to do, brother, I'm going to, yes.
One doubt, sir. One doubt.
Yes.
So, yeah, even layer 3 switch also has 24 ports by default, or is it more or less?
More or less. That is depend upon the switch configuration. That is depend upon your requirement.
How many ports we get on a hardware switch?
That is what I'm telling you. That is what I'm telling you. What is the requirement? If you have only 24 user in your organization, so why you are going to purchase a switch which has 200 ports?
Okay, so there are ports more than 24 ports.
Exactly.
There are switch. Okay.
See. So when I was in Riyadh, see, I have also worked in Saudi Arabia, and I was working in the Saudi Aramco company, right? So I have installed a switch which has 200 port there.
Oh.
Yeah.
You worked in Aramco?
Yes, brother.
MashaAllah. Good.
Aramco is a large corporation in Saudi Arabia.
Exactly. So
you work in what capacity? As a network engineer or what?
Network engineer. So if you're able to know how to install router switch and you know the troubleshooting of these devices, you can join there. But after completing CCIE, see, if you completed CCIE, then it is good for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I'm going to explain you. Now I'm going to explain you layer 3 switch. So what layer 3 switch will do here? Layer 3 switch also do routing. See the functionality. See the functionality of router is routing now. The functionality of router is routing. But here in this scenario, your layer 3 switch also do routing here. So what you are going to do? I'm going to create a VLAN here. I'm going to create a VLAN here. So how you will create a VLAN in switch? This is a configuration mode. I have to write VLAN 10 name sales. So brother, try to understand. I'm not teaching switch here. So I'm just going to explain. This is the basic class. So when I will teach you switch, I will explain you in detail. Don't worry, don't bother about it. Just I'm going to explain the difference between layer 2 and layer 3 switch. So don't worry. So I have created one VLAN here, that is VLAN 10. And so then the name of that VLAN is called VLAN sales. And I'm going to create one more VLAN here, that is VLAN 20. So the name will be admin. So we will create a lot of VLAN here, that is upon our company requirement. But currently I have configured two VLAN here, that is VLAN 10 and 20. So what I'm going to do, brother, see, you have already aware that this switch has VLAN 1. Try to understand. All the interface is in VLAN 1. But you have created two VLAN here, that is VLAN 10 and 20. So what I'm going to do, I have to assign this two interface. Try to understand. I'm going to assign this two interface in VLAN 10 and this two interfaces in VLAN 20. So now I have created two VLAN here, but now I'm going to assign these two interfaces VLAN 10. But I will check also the interface here. This is a F is 0 by 1 and this is F 0 by 2. So INT range. So this is the first interface and this is the second interface. So now I'm both the interface. So what I have to write here, switch port access VLAN 10. So now what I have done here, I have configured port number 1 and port number 2 in VLAN 10 and remaining port 2. This is port number 3 and 4. Now I'm going to configure these two ports in VLAN 20. That's why I've written switch port access VLAN 20. So now I'm going to check the VLAN here. So now you have two VLAN here, that is VLAN 10 and 20. So in VLAN 10, you are seeing two interface here, that is port number 1 and port number 2. And VLAN 20, you are seeing two interface, that is port number 3 and 4. So in layer 3 switch, default this switch has VLAN 1, but I have created two VLAN here. That is VLAN 10 and 20. So I have assigned this interface in VLAN 10 and I have configured this two interface in VLAN 20. So now, because I'm going to explain that how your switch will do routing here. So that's why I'm going to assign the IP address in VLAN. Again, I'm in configuration mode. So here I'm going to assign IP address in VLAN. So now I'm in VLAN 10. So I'm going to assign the IP address in VLAN 10, that is 192.168.0.2, 0.1. Sorry. Please mute the sound, brother. So 192.168.0.1 is the IP address of VLAN 10. And now I am in VLAN 20. VLAN 20. So the IP which I am going to assign in VLAN 20, that is 1.1. So I have configured both the VLAN. So now this two computer is VLAN 10. So now I'm going to assign IP address here. So the IP of this computer is 192.168.0.2, but the gateway will be, so whatever the IP I've assigned in VLAN 10, that is the gateway of this computer. And this computer also belongs to VLAN 10. So the IP will be same subnet IP here, that is 1.0.3. The gateway will be VLAN 10 IP address. Okay. So now this two computer is in VLAN 20. So here I will assign 192.168.1.2 and the gateway will be VLAN 20 IP address. So in this computer, the IP will be 3, 192.168.1.3, but the gateway will be 1.1 VLAN 20 IP address. Now, these two computers is in VLAN 10 and these two computers is VLAN 20. So brother, if I'm trying to communicate with this computer, if the computer of VLAN 10, if the computer of VLAN 10 is trying to communicate with VLAN 20 computer, whether this computer will now I'm going to check here whether your VLAN 20 will respond or not. I will check here 192.168.1.2. Request timeout. It means that when I'm trying to communicate, when VLAN 10 is trying to communicate with VLAN 20, you are getting request timeout here. Why? Why? Because you are not enabling router here. Because you are not enabling routing protocol here. That's why. Suppose if I configure routing protocol here, how I will enable EIGRP protocol on this router? Router EIGRP.
Wow.
And the numbers. See, so when you are going to enable routing protocol on this router, try to understand, brother. When you're trying to enable EIGRP on this router, the answer will be IP routing is not enabled. You have not enabled IP routing service here. If you enable IP routing here, then only these two VLAN can communicate with each other. So now I'm going to enable IP routing here. IP routing. So if you enable our IP routing here, then you will check here. See, so after enabling IP routing on layer 3 switch, then only both VLAN will communicate with each other. Hope you understand. You understand, brother?
Yes, sir.
Now, yeah. Now I have cleared that the difference between layer 2 and layer 3 switch. But I have
sir.
Yes.
Last doubt, sir. Yes. One doubt here.
Is EIGRP the only protocol that we can use to enable IP routing on a layer 3 switch? Is there any other protocol we can use?
Yeah, you can enable any routing protocol here, but before enabling routing protocol, you should enable IP routing service there. Okay,
so the only way to enable IP routing on that layer 3 switch is to use, is it only EIGRP that we can use?
Any of the protocol you can enable here.
Can we use BGP?
What, BGP?
Yes.
BGP.
Can we use BGP to enable IP routing on the layer 3 switch?
Yeah, you can enable it, no problem. So my question, I have a question here, an important question here. Why, if your layer 3 switch will do routing, so why should I purchase router here? If your layer 3 switch is doing routing here, so why should I purchase router?
Yeah, a router ensures more security.
So brother, security, if you want to implement the security in your organization, you have to purchase firewall there. No need to purchase router there, brother.
Okay.
See, router is only used for routing, not for security. If you want to implement the security in your organization, you have to implement firewall there. Firewall is only built for firewalling.
You have to implement what?
You can use Wi-Fi on router.
Wi-Fi, कहाँ से Wi-Fi लेके आ रहे हो यार?
You have to implement what? for security?
Yes, yes, yes.
You said you have to implement what for security?
See, if you see,
Firewall.
if you want to implement security in your organization, you have to implement firewall there. So firewall is used for firewalling, or you can say firewall is used for security, like Cisco firewall, Cisco AC firewall, Checkpoint, Palo Alto. These are the firewall which will prevent your security, prevent your organization. Understand?
Can you
Yeah,
write
but
it? I didn't.
yeah, but we haven't got the answer, sir. For why do we need a router when a switching can do a routing functionality?
Yeah, I will give you I will give you answer. This is my question,
No.
brother.
None of us said it. None of us said that answer.
Okay.
So we are expecting from you. Yeah, that's
Okay.
all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I will explain you. See, your layer 3 switch, your layer 3 switch is only built for routing. You can only enable routing protocol on this layer 3 switch. So if you want to enable NATing service here, or if you want to implement IP security policy on layer 3 switch, you can't.
Okay.
So the advanced first services, whatever the advanced services is here, that will be implemented on router, not on layer 3 switch.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask you one question? Before, okay, let's assume I want to implement security now. I know I have to get a firewall, right?
Right.
But do I still need a router?
Can you ask me again?
If I want to implement security now,
yes.
Okay, I know I need to get the firewall. Do I connect the firewall directly to the layer 3 switch? I still need to get a router to connect to the layer 3 switch, then connect to the firewall.
See, brother, I don't know what you are asking, but I will explain you. So, if you did not implement firewall in your organization, you are just using router there.
Okay.
You are just using router. You didn't implement your firewall in your organization. What will happen there? If a user is trying, if your inside user want to send the traffic toward the internet, that will possible. The traffic will goes from inside to the internet. But if someone from outside is trying to access your LAN, he will access, because your router does not have any policy. Your router does not have any policy there. But if you implement firewall in your organization, what will happen here? There is an algorithm which is working on your firewall. So what will happen here? When inside traffic, when the traffic from inside is trying to send to the internet, what will happen? So before sending toward the internet, before sending the traffic toward the internet, your firewall will maintain the information, the source IP, destination IP, source MAC address, destination MAC address. The same source, when is coming from the internet, your firewall has already maintained the information. So that information will come inside there. But any of the outside user trying to communicate with inside user, what will happen? Your policy will block the access.
Okay.
Understand?
Yes.
Yeah. This is the difference between firewall and router.
Okay.
I have a question, sir.
कौन बोल रहे?
Sir, Biku.
Yes, बोले.
हाँ सर, मैं पूछ रहा था सर, जो VLAN में हम लोग दो PCs को कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं एक करके, तो सर वो हम को एक VLAN के साथ कर सकते हैं, मतलब one interface with one VLAN.
Yes, you can configure it, no problem, no problem. See, I have already explained you. See, because I have to explain the layer 2 and layer 3 switch, that's why I have made two VLAN here, and I have configured these two interface in VLAN 10 and these two interface in VLAN 20, because I have to give the example. Now, that's why I configured two VLAN here.
Is there any differences connecting multiple interfaces with one VLAN or one interface?
See, brother, suppose these two computers belong to cells.
Okay.
See, how many VLAN I have created here? I have created 2 VLAN here, one for sales and one for admin. Suppose if you have 10 users in VLAN 10, or you can say, suppose if you have 10 users belong to sales. So what you will do there? That all interface will be in VLAN 10. Hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now the class is over.
Sir, one doubt, sir. One last doubt. I'll not trouble you much. Yeah. One last doubt. See, in layer 2, we've configured all the systems in one VLAN. So
no. Who told you? No. See. Try to understand.
Yeah.
Layer 2 switch, or the difference between layer 2 switch and layer 3 switch is this. In layer 2
cannot
switch,
do routing.
Yes. In layer 2 switch, switch is responsible for sending the traffic down, but
correct.
switch will send the traffic over MAC address.
Correct.
So a switch which is sending the traffic over MAC address, so that's why that is called layer 2 switch. But in second scenario, that traffic is moving through IP address.
Okay.
That is what this is called layer 3 switch.
Okay.
Okay.
But sir, layer 2 switch में क्या सर हम VLAN create कर सकते हैं?
Yes, कर सकते हैं.
So in layer 2 we use VLAN, sir, but layer 3 we use the VLAN.
Layer 3?
तो लेयर 2 में तो हम लोग VLAN को यूज नहीं किया ना, वो तो डायरेक्टली चला गया था.
नहीं देखो अभी, see brother, I have already explained you that I'm not teaching CCNA switch here. But try to understand. I'm just explaining you the difference between layer 2 and layer 3 switch. Try to understand. If you ask me in detail, that will come in switch classes. So whatever the question you have, don't bother about it. You ask me each and every question in switch, and I will explain you detail, no problem. I just explaining you the difference between layer 2 and layer 3 switch. आप टेंशन ना लो, अभी मैं just explain basic कर रहा हूँ. अभी आपका syllabus मैं दिखाता हूँ आपको. अभी मैं syllabus, I will show you the syllabus here. I will show you. Don't worry.
And whatever the trace route, the packet interface that you're explaining, right? Can it be configured in our system as well?
देखिए, explain layer 2 and layer 3 switch. Understand? So currently, I'm not teaching you switch in detail. I'm just explaining you the difference between layer 2 and layer 3 switch. So when I'm teaching the switch classes, then you will ask me. Hope you understand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, आप सर PDF send कर सकते हो WhatsApp में? Syllabus का PDF.
Syllabus, okay. I will send you in your group. I'll show you.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
sir,
Mr. Yes, bole.
Sir, packet tracer, whichever you are teaching us, can it be installed in our system as well to practice?
Yes, no problem. I will. You know how to install it?
No, I don't know. So I'm just asking.
Available in Cisco website, sir.
Yes,
easy to install.
You can download this software from. You can download this software from Google.
From Google.
Yeah.
It's called Cisco Packet
Tracer.
Tracer, is it? Okay. Cisco
okay,
Packet
Mr.
Tracer.
Ejazul Abdul Aziz.
Yes.
Abdul Aziz Mudir.
Yes.
Are you Mia?
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Okay, mashallah. Okay, we will meet you next class. We will meet you next class. The class is over now.
Okay, no problem. When is the next class?
Next class yesterday. Tomorrow is the last class. Yes, classes.
Tomorrow,
same time, 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye.
Okay.